Hello and welcome to the Work for Change podcast. My name is Jean, boy, spelled like Jean.
And welcome back, by the way.
I know.
And my name
I don't like hearing the intro without my voice.
You just get jealous.
I hear you and I'm just like,
how dare he? And my name is John with a silent H. Welcome to episode number 051 of the Work for Change podcast, man. We're getting close to that.
Oh my gosh. Number 2.
We're getting close to that year mark.
52. Next week is 1 year.
Is that how it works?
Well, there's 52 weeks in a year and we've been uploading one once a week.
Yeah. I mean, we skipped 1 week.
But then we uploaded 2.
Look at us. Wow. On top of it.
Yeah. So next year, we're going to say it's our year anniversary next year.
Next year?
Next week. Stay tuned for massive changes.
Yeah. Not really.
Okay. So I've been thinking while I haven't been on the podcast for a week.
It feels like it's been longer than that.
It does feel, well, because we recorded Tia earlier in preparation for the wedding. Mm-hmm. And then I had a wedding, and then I had a honeymoon. Mm-hmm. But I've been thinking, and we can talk about the wedding and the honeymoon later. This has been on my mind. Mm-hmm. I don't have the face for video.
It's true.
I, even doing the podcast, when we upload the YouTube video, I'm just like...
I hope people don't actually watch this.
Yeah. Good thing we have more listeners on the podcast than the YouTube page.
Yeah.
But I don't have which is why my YouTube channel has always just kind of been I enjoy video. I just wish it wasn't me. you know, vlogging would be awesome if I didn't have to be the main character.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, which is more common, especially now with a lot of games athletes, they like to have their video guy follow them or mm-hmm. film their workouts and stuff like that. So I've just kind of been thinking, how can I, because I still love the space I'm in. I love the fitness world that we're in. I love CrossFit. I love, I've been making the tip videos for our gym. One of our coaches does the workout an hour after it's announced. And then he does a tip video. And so I'll record his thoughts. I'll record his workout. I'm putting it up on our private Facebook page. And so doing that is it's a reminder that I really do enjoy doing that. Editing workouts, editing strategies, and having cool vantage points and stuff like that. I just don't care that much about being the person who's seen. Mm-hmm. You know? I don't know. It's been just something I've been thinking about. What's the next step forward, you know?
I think the next step would be editing for other people, shooting for other people, right? That's kind of the thing. And I would love to be do it for me, but one, I can't really afford to pay you that. And two, I'm not interesting. So it's I feel like I'm able to handle what I need, and videos and stuff. I don't need somebody to film.
You're doing fine.
If I wanted to...
I've done special stuff for you. When you're I want this to be an extra video or something, I'm I'll do it. No problem.
I want this to be super dope. But yeah, I think that makes sense. It's funny because there's, people that are not fans of YouTubers. They're always they're all so narcissistic and full of themselves because if you're a YouTuber, especially if you edit your own videos, you are shooting a video of yourself and then you're sitting there editing that video, looking at yourself, and then you are posting that video of yourself online.
And then you're
promoting it, thinking this video hopefully gets views because I'm important and people should care about what I say and what I think. And I've struggled with that because that's not my personality.
Yeah, mine either. Obviously.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I would love to kind of hear your thoughts. My personality isn't listen to me, I'm the man. Even when people come up to me at the gym and ask me stuff about weight loss, I'm this is what I did, but yo, do your thing. You know, I'm not somebody that says this is what you need to do. I've never been that way.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to making videos, that's always the struggle. Is in my videos I almost never say this is it, this is the end all be all, you need to do this. Yeah. There's very, very small things that maybe I'll say that on, being at a deficit is kind of necessary for weight loss. That's about it. Everything else I'm yeah, but that's what worked for me, but I'm not going to sit here and say you need to do this.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to workout videos, I'm always I am not the one and only here. There are people that are so much better than me. So I've always struggled with that because I am aware that I am not top tier in anything that I do. Uh-huh. And so, but at the same time, I think there's value in not being top tier, but still feeling like you can share your opinions and share what you're going through. Right now, I'm doing a video every week of the Open, right? It's something I've done since I've started, right? Yeah. I've always done that, and I don't see myself ever stopping. And so the videos now, they live on my second channel just because it's more CrossFit, and my main channel is a little bit different now, which is fine with me because I don't have to worry as much when it goes on my second channel. I can just have fun with filming it. But what's fun about those videos is, one, I'm not just stressed about it, and two, I understand why people are watching the videos, right? A vast majority of people are watching because they just want to see how well I did and see if they beat me, right? And then they want to hear tips from someone that's not an elite level athlete that's not going to crush the workouts.
Yeah.
They're just going to get by and maybe have an all right score for the gym.
Someone, I was watching a games athlete do the workout, and then afterwards they gave tips. And it was like, you know what? Just make sure that you can remain just below your lactic threshold, and be sure that you can push the pace, but keep steady. I was like, that's not going to mean anything. So that doesn't even mean anything to me, let alone
in my head. I'm just like, all I hear is like, ah, like, like the SpongeBob thing when they're like running around. Is that SpongeBob when he's running around with the files and burning things? Like that's what I feel like is going on in my head when I'm doing the workouts.
Yeah, but it's like, it's just that tip means it makes a lot of sense to someone who has an endurance coach who is constantly trying to find that lactic threshold to the point to where the more effort they put in doesn't give them the returns. How can you balance that line? When you're talking about that and you have that tip makes a lot of sense to the person who works out. Let's just say to the person who happens to work out at like 6:30 in the morning, and then he's
talking about himself.
They go to work for the rest of the day and then hang out with their brand new wife. Like,
it's very specific.
Yeah, just like a random person.
I don't appreciate you shoving in my face that you're married now. Okay?
Yeah. Hey. But that tip doesn't help that hypothetical person out that much.
Hypothetical person named Jean.
So I think that there is I do value the average it's cool. Like, the difference is it was really cool seeing these athletes not stop.
People, so like, let's talk
especially
about
coming from the fact that we just did it this morning, and I purposely stopped in the first round. Like, every single movement I rested 5 seconds after. You know what I mean? Like,
so we're recording just so people can kind of have an idea.
We're diving right in.
Yeah, we're diving right in. So we're recording this literally for me about 2 hours after I did 20.2, the CrossFit Open workout, and Jean did it a few hours ago before me.
Like 5 hours ago. Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're talking about. We're talking about 20.2. If you don't know what that is, it's a 20-minute AMRAP of 4 dumbbell thrusters, 50 pounds for men, 35 for women, 6 toes to bar, and then you have 24 double unders, okay? So that's the second workout in the Open, and the first workout was 20.1, which was a 15-minute time cap of 10 rounds of, what was it? 8 ground to overhead, which for most people was snatches, but you could also do clean and jerk, and then 10 burpees over the bar. Okay, so just so if you don't do CrossFit, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Are we going to do a recap of the Open so far?
Yeah, let's do like a little recap action.
Okay, well,
you go first.
I came back from my honeymoon and then did the Open, and it was a train wreck, but I knew it was going to be. I didn't work out during my honeymoon. I went to the gym a little bit, but there's no motivation.
Okay, so
I did cardio and stretched.
You were on your honeymoon, and you came back so you came back on what day did you come back?
I came back on Saturday.
On Saturday. You didn't work out on Sunday, right?
Nope.
And then you hit 20.1, which
Monday
was
morning.
the ground to overhead and the burpees.
Monday morning. How
did that go?
It was like, I knew it was going to go bad, and it went even worse. I mean, like, I'm happy with my effort, but I wasn't expecting anything out of it. So I got 8 rounds plus some out of a possible 10 rounds. So I was about a round and a half short of finishing, but like, I don't know. I didn't work out. Before the wedding, it was all thinking about that, doing that, making sure there. But then I got married, and then I had a honeymoon, and then it was coming back, and my first workout back was the Open. Welcome back. It was just kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, I could have come in on Sunday and stretched and done some cardio and done stuff like that, but I didn't. That's not the priority in my life, So I just came back and I did that workout, and it was miserable, but it was a good welcome back. And I got to do 2 Open workouts in 1 week. It was super fun.
Oh yeah. Were you upset at all about were you upset about your score when you finished?
No, I mean, I'm upset about the placing, but like, it's not upset about effort, you know, and it's also like I would have liked to place higher and I would have liked to do more. And I, you know, if I was a more disciplined human being, then I would have worked out during my honeymoon. And I would, like, there were people in the hotel gym who were going at it, where I was like, oh, I wonder if they do CrossFit, because they were like doing a lot of stuff. But no, like I struggle being in San Diego, walking into the gym and being like, all right, what workout am I going to do? If it's not already written down for me, like, I struggle.
Okay. Do you think that's something you need to work on?
No.
No?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, I think if I was trying to pursue fitness in some career or something like that, I would probably need to be a little bit more disciplined. But I think for the bigger thing for me is that I need to be better eating. That's always been the thing, though. You know, like...
That's very true.
So it's like... if I'm working out 5 to 6 days a week hard for an hour or whatever, like 20, 30 minutes, what I need to focus on is, and that's what I've decided. That's what I've decided I am allowing for time in my schedule to be that.
Yeah.
If that is what I decide, then therefore, in order to look the way I want to look, it's all diet. And so it's more of a diet reigning and controlling than workout intensity and discipline.
I think it's important that you said that, because so many people, and like myself included, you end up watching these games athletes. Again, nothing against them. A lot of them are our friends, but like you see how much they're training, you see how much they're eating, and you feel like you can do that. But in reality, like if you are working that 9 to 5 or like a full-time job, it's just like not possible. So it's about finding the balance. And I think that's the most important thing is like people aren't going to be able to be in the gym for 3 hours a day like you know? And so it's about finding that balance of, okay, I want to train. And when I do go into the gym, I want to hit it hard and like really push myself. But at the same time, understand that doesn't allow for you to go and have like a bunch of junk food all the time and expect yourself to look like shredded or whatever it is that you want to look like. So it's about being like, okay, let's be realistic about how many calories am I burning when I'm training? The reality is not much.
If you're doing CrossFit, you're not burning a lot of calories.
It's not that much, right? You're working out intensely and
it is so good for your heart. It is so good for your internal organs. Like,
and your body, like moving, functional moving.
That intensity, but it's not the most calorically...
Yeah, you're not running 12 miles every day,
exactly.
Right? Runners and stuff like that, they have to eat a lot of calories because they're, going straight for 2 hours at a time, just completely, just running the whole time. So it's about finding that balance of understanding. And this is something that, I notice with a lot of the people that I talk to in the gym is they want to lose weight, and they think that these workouts, because they're so hard, are burning all these calories, but like in reality, the longest workouts we do are usually 20 minutes. Like, and then there's a warm up there, so you're burning a little bit of calories there, and maybe you're doing a strength piece, but that's not that much, And so it's about being realistic about what is this doing for my body, and how do I need to refuel myself to a point where I'm not over fueling myself and then adding a bunch of extra fat, right?
Yeah, exactly. So my question for you.
Oh gosh.
You are in a position where you are able to make your income based on your fitness, more, I guess it's more of your knowledge and your story than it is your fitness, but...
And my biceps.
Yeah. You have the opportunity to work out 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Multiple sessions, which you do multiple sessions, but in different ways. Why is athletic performance not your biggest priority? For me, it makes sense. I've got a family now. Kind of a wife, but a job, like a different type of job that isn't at the gym. So like, what is the reasoning for you?
I guess like if I'm going to do something, like if I were to come in here and like want to train 3 hours a day, because like I come in, like CrossFit wise, I do the class. That's pretty much all I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'll do other types of working out, like hypertrophy sessions, bodybuilding sessions, if you want to call it that.
Or hiking.
Yeah. And so for me, like I enjoy CrossFit in that aspect, but I'm sure I would enjoy doing those longer sessions and like being in here for a long time, but it's just, I don't know. Like I've just kind of decided that that's not all I want to be able to do. I think for me, I really like that I can do all of the different types of working out, like the CrossFit, the bodybuilding, the running, the hiking, because then if I do get kind of bored of something, I can just kind of focus on something else. So that's kind of what I've been doing, is not just putting all my eggs in one basket just because I get bored really fast. Like, I have ADD, so, like, I really struggle with, like, I get bored and then I'm like, what can I do now? What can I do now? So, with fitness, it's just kind of the same thing. I like having a bunch of different options. So yeah, I think that's kind of why I haven't come in here and been like, okay, I'm going to do double sessions and always be here. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do double sessions, but I'll go to 24-hour fitness and do chest day or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what I enjoy doing. And for me, with CrossFit is cool because it's the community. There's the people here. Like, I love everyone here. I have really good time. I'm talking, all that stuff. But when I do my bodybuilding session, I put in my headphones and I don't talk to anybody. And it's just kind of like a different mode for me. It's, instead of everyone, some people like to do yoga or they like to meditate. And like, for me, the gym is like that session when I'm headphones in, doing my own thing. That's my meditation. I guess. I don't know. That sounds super meathead, but it's true, So I think that's why.
Okay, so glad that we've gone through that caveat or tangent.
Okay, 20.1 was that.
Yep.
20.2.
20.2.
Tell me how it went.
I feel like it went really well for me. We do 20-minute AMRAP. So the workout was a 20-minute AMRAP, 4 dumbbell thrusters, which we do all the time at Darkside, 8 toes to bar, which we do very frequently at Darkside, and double unders. I mean, we're probably doing those movements
I would say
once a week, except for thrusters.
Yeah, most gyms are probably there. Yeah, we probably do thrusters twice a month.
Yeah,
dumbbell thrusters.
Yeah, they're pretty...
We do them quite frequently, and we've thought that they were going to be in the open for the past 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 2 opens, I guess.
Yeah.
But
and then we do a 20-minute AMRAP
every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Much. Yeah.
And Saturday.
Yeah.
If you show up to the Saturday class. So I was very comfortable in that workout the entire time. Mm-hmm. Like, the only discomfort was the discomfort you put yourself in, but like, Tia Wright on her Instagram said something about she loves 20-minute AMRAPs because it's not about like speed. It's about finding your rhythm and getting in your groove. And once you're in that groove, you're just kind of going. And she called it like a dance. And it's like, I kind of agree.
That's beautiful.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Because that's what it is, 100%. Is it's not going out too hard. It's not doing it. It's finding what your rhythm is, where your groove is, and then just maintaining it for 20 minutes.
What I like to do in those is like start slower than maybe you think, because I want to be able to ramp up.
Yeah. That's
kind of my goal in those kind of workouts, is to ramp up. And that's what I felt like I was able to do. But yeah, so 20.2.
So I went in with a strategy of one of my friends who is going to be on, who's on our competition team all the time. He did the workout really slow, or he did one round, purposely slow to see how long it would take him. And it took him 45 seconds. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, there's 3 movements. He had 45 seconds rest. If I EMOM this...
45 seconds. He had 15 seconds.
Yeah, he had 15 seconds rest. If I EMOM this...
So that's every minute on the minute.
Yep. Then I can take 5-second rests between each movement. Mm-hmm. So then there's no movement that I am trying to go from one to the other right away with an elevated heart rate. I can take 3 deep breaths and move on to the next thing. And so I did that, and I probably did that solidly for the first 10 rounds. I was just kind of sticking to that strategy. And then eventually it got to the point where I was like getting to the dumbbell thruster, and it was already like 11:05. Mm-hmm. And so then you start like, okay, I'm falling behind the pace, but I was able to get 17 rounds done and then 4 thrusters. So I was aiming for 12 to 15. Like, I didn't know where I just didn't know. Mm-hmm. So 17 rounds is something I'm very happy with. Could I have possibly done greater? Maybe. But if I had pushed earlier, I don't know if I would have had it at the end. Mm-hmm. How about you?
So for me, me and John had almost exactly the same score. So I got 17 rounds exactly. So he beat me by 4 thrusters, which is frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, because he would not tell me his score, and I'm positive if I knew, I probably would have beat you.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's true. That's why it's like so helpful for when people are in the third heat at the games. Yep. Like, they know, So I'm while I wish I would have beat you, I understand why you didn't tell me your time, because that would have been annoying to you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's like not fair, kind of.
Well, it's like, I do the second class of the day, and then I'll just post my score up. Mm-hmm. And it's on Wodify. People can see it on the whiteboard all day. And so when people in the later classes are beating it, I'm just like, I know that they're willing to die to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, you just did that because my score was up. Mm-hmm. So it is kind of frustrating, but it also has taught me, like, just go all out. Do the best you can. Don't game it. You know, just do the best you can. But yeah, that's why I didn't want to tell you.
Yeah. So kind of stepping back a little bit. So for me, 20.1 was actually a really good workout. Like, I was actually able to finish, which a good amount of people did, but not only 5 guys at the gym did finish the whole workout.
A lot more girls did.
Did they?
A lot of girls finished.
Not only 3 women finished here.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, then they finished it. The 3 who finished did it pretty early on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it was a good workout. Like, it was really hard, and I have not pushed that hard in quite a while in a workout. I was close to not, like, throwing up, but, like, dry heaving almost. Like, I just was like, oh, my God. I had, like, Fran lung when I would breathe in. Like, I just coughing. So, like, really, really went hard, but very happy with the effort that I put in and the score that I got, 14:37 or something like that. So then when I heard what this workout was, the first thing I thought of was, dang it. Dumbbell thrusters are one of my least favorite workout or movements because my mobility in my left ankle is just horrendous, and my front rack isn't the best. So, like, the first time we ever did them in the gym, I was mortified of how bad I was at them, and so I was like, I've worked on them quite a bit, and they've gotten a lot better. And they ended up not being too much of an issue in the workout, or, like, really at all. I just have to make sure I get in early and do a lot of stretching. So that, and then for me, I've notoriously been worse at gymnastics than you, right? Mm-hmm. And so I saw that, and what sucks is I love 20-minute workouts. I love them. Mm-hmm. I program them for myself all the time. So I was like, cool, 20-minute AMRAP, like, I like that, but I know these toes to bar are going to be rough. And so what I did when like I said kind of earlier, I planned on ramping myself up during the workout because I didn't want to lose toes to bar in the middle of it. Yeah. So I broke up the toes to bar right away, 4-2, and then everything else pretty much was unbroken. I tripped on my second double under in the workout, but then I didn't trip on any of the other ones, which for me, I'm pretty good at double unders, but I'm not. Like, if there's a set of 100, I'll probably trip, right? Yeah. Some people could, like, that they never trip on double unders. I'm not that person. So I was really happy about that. The dumbbell thrusters actually went fine. So I didn't really look at the clock too much. I mean, a little bit, but I wasn't going to be, I knew that trying to maybe EMOM it probably wasn't going to happen. So I just didn't want to focus on that too much because I didn't want to feel like, oh, I'm falling behind in the workout. So I just wanted to be, like, zoned in on the movements. And it, like what you said, what Tia Wright said with, like, it's like a dance and stuff. It's what it felt like. It was really, I almost felt like, this is super, like, ethereal or whatever, but, like, good word. Like, it felt like I was in a trance almost. Like, it was just go to here, do 4, go here, do 4 and 2, 6. Go here, do the 24. And it was just, like, don't think too much. Take a couple breaths in between each movement. Don't feel like you have to rush yourself. But then, like, and I felt, like, really good. I was doing really well. And then I got to the last 2 minutes, and then I was like, turn it on now. Yeah. Like, let's try and go a little bit faster these rounds. Like, don't take as much break. And it worked out really well. Like, I literally finished the 24th double under, so the last double under in the 17th round with a second left. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like, I finished it, and then beep, the time. So, like, I felt like I really pushed myself. Looking back, I definitely think I could have done a little bit better because I wasn't as just dead after that workout as I was the first week's workout. So it's like...
But they're also different burns.
They're different burns, and again, that doesn't mean that I'm not... I'm happy with my score. I'm not going to redo the workout. Do not care that much at all. Yeah. But it's like... It's just... That's something that I learned. Like, I always underestimate. I was having a conversation with a friend, and they're like, "Oh, how do you think you'll do?" And I was like, "I don't know, like 12 to 15 rounds." And they're like, "You're gonna do better than that." And I was like, "I don't know." And they're like, "You're gonna do better than that." I was like, "Well, you have to under promise and then over." Yeah. But like, that's what I do with myself all the time in open workouts. I'm always like, because like you messaged me when we first heard the workout, like, "You're gonna beat me in this one," and I was just like, I don't know. Like, and I mean, I was wrong. You were wrong, right? So, I didn't have, like, I'm happy with my score, 17 rounds, super stoked about that. What blows my mind is that there are people doing over 30 rounds. Yeah. or like that are getting close to 30 rounds. Like Alex Smith posted something. He was in the 28th round.
Yeah.
He got over 1,000 reps. I got didn't even get 500
You did.
reps. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even get 600 though.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like that. See, stuff like that. It just when people are like, "Oh, have you thought about going to the games?" I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I'm more fit than most people, and that sounds like, but you know what I mean. Like, we're more fit than most humans.
Yeah, our last Open, we were in the 90th percentile or 10th, whatever.
Compared to the games athletes, like it's such a gigantic leap.
Yeah.
It's like not even close. And so, I mean, it's so unbelievable to see. Like, I love being like watching their workouts. Like, I mean, we were kind of talking about earlier. It's like, for me, it's watching it out of enjoyment, not to think, what would I do in
what
this
are they
workout
doing
that I should copy?
Yeah.
It's like if I tried to copy that, I'd have a heart attack in round 5. Like, it's unbelievable.
Because in order to get 30 rounds, you have to do 45-second paces. The entire time.
I could probably do 2 rounds that fast.
Yeah. I don't think
and then be done.
Yeah. Maybe 2 rounds. And it would be like crying, puking, spewing everywhere.
That's
like
a
that.
Great visual.
Yeah. Just imagine that. Imagine, watch a games athlete, and then while you're doing that, just picture me crying in the corner. Because that's what would be happening.
On Twitter, I messaged the CrossFit Games and I said, "Hey guys, if you have a wild card spot, I'd be down." They didn't reply.
Oh yeah. They're like, "Let's check this." Nope.
Nah.
Yeah.
They only gave out 1 last year, right? It was just a Hunter, right? There was nobody else.
Ben Smith.
Oh yeah.
They had 4. They only gave it to 2 dudes.
Yeah.
They offered it to Craig. He turned it down.
I wonder how true that story is.
I don't know, but no girls.
Yeah.
And people were kind of mad about that.
Really?
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Was there anybody
Makes
that
sense
really
to be mad
wanted
about
one
it.
though?
I don't know.
Hunter was the only person that really tried.
Yeah.
To get
yeah.
Like he really went for it. I'm sure there were other people, but
like Ben Smith.
Yeah, he tried.
He was like, I don't know, if you want to give me one, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. He's like, I just got out of knee surgery, so I'm not too stressed about it.
Watching him do the first workout, I legit had tears in my eyes. Like I really, really did.
Him and the 200 other people on the field.
Yeah.
Because that was a crazy first event.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right, so tell me about the honeymoon, bro.
Well, first before the honeymoon, there was a wedding, and wedding.
We haven't even talked about that yet, have we?
No, the wedding was beautiful. Mm-hmm. The wedding was. It was just like everything that I could have hoped for, that we could have hoped for. No secret that our faith in God is a big part of our lives, and that was a big part of the wedding. But also just having fun. Yeah. Like there was like a element of like their faith is real and they like to have fun. And I think like if that was like the epitome of our relationship, which it is, I feel like, that was also the epitome of the wedding. So it was just like everything that we could have hoped for happened. And I only teared up once when I was thinking about her walking down the aisle. I didn't even see her yet, but I was just imagining that moment when she's walking down the aisle, and then my eyes kind of got watery. But then when she walked down, it was just all joy. Like I was just so happy, and it was just a great ceremony. Our pastor did great. Made a couple jokes during it, which is always nice. And then apparently, my brother was sobbing like a baby the entire time.
Yeah, so I cried a little bit on stage because I was the best man, right? So I was a little bit, nothing crazy. But then the speeches happened, right? And so I did, Sam's brother did a speech, and then I did my speech. And then Sam's best friend did her speech, which was amazing. Like, it was immaculate. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It was wild. But then our mom did a speech, and... So my mom, she could barely, she was like tearing up, so she couldn't really read her paper. So Jean held her microphone for her so she could like bring the paper close to her face. And so she was giving this speech, and Jean is holding the mic. She's talking about Jean. He's holding the microphone, and she's saying all this stuff, very nice and sweet, and talking about our past, which wasn't the best, and like real stuff. And John's fine. He's just smiling. Yeah. And I'm just sitting down sobbing. Like, literally, not like, a tear. I was like bent over, whole body shaking, crying. And it wasn't because I was sad or anything. It was just so much emotion, I guess. Like, I honestly don't understand what it was. Like, I definitely, we love our mom very much. Like, I would say I'm a slight mom's boy, not to an annoying point. Like, I mean, I have her name tattooed on me, but you know, it's not like we sit there and talk all the time or anything like that. But I definitely love my mom, and I appreciate the sacrifices that she did for us, you know, a lot of stuff back in the day. And so I honestly don't know what it was, but I was sobbing. I cried at your wedding more than anyone else. And that's including the people that actually got married.
Yeah.
And people would ask me, they were like commenting on my posts and stuff like, oh, you're going to cry at your brother's wedding. And I would reply, I don't think so. I don't cry very much.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
I was like, just stop crying. And I couldn't.
Was it like, what were you feeling?
Dude, I don't even know. Like, happiness was a big part, but like, just, I think pride for you, like being proud of, and honestly, like, it sounds selfish, but like for both of us, like, her reiterating what we had been through when we were younger just made me realize how bad our lives could have been.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we were able to get out of that, and whatever, let's be real. I'm not going to sit here and try and hide. I think I was happy for you that you had found love and like you are married now. And then for me, it's like, I'm single. You know what I mean? And I think that was part of it too. I'm not going to like lie.
Yeah.
And even talking about it now is like making me teary-eyed. But like it, you know, it's just like, because it's a recent thing, you know, the breakup and stuff. I don't want to talk too much about it, but you know, it's been like a month now. And so at the wedding, it was only like 2 weeks, you know, so it was very fresh. So I think that's probably part of it. You know, there's all these couples around and it's like, you know, I'm doing my thing by myself and it's just like, man. So, I mean, I'm not sure if that's what you were, the answer you were expecting, but no, that's the truth right there. Like, but like, it's not like that's why I was crying. Like it was more than that for sure. But I think it was all of those things together that had just perfect storm kind of thing, I guess, you know? But truly, and like, I don't want people to be like, oh, I feel so bad for him, because I had so much fun at that wedding. Like, I don't think I've had that much fun in a long time.
Yeah.
Like and we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but I struggle with like social anxiety to a point where it can get pretty bad, especially when it's not like there was nobody that was like falling over like drunk or anything at the wedding. But I mean, there was alcohol there, right? So some people were drinking, and notoriously for me, so I don't drink and I don't like to really be around it too much. Like I can handle it. Like at the wedding, it was fine, right? But I usually avoid those situations. And so I was kind of nervous, but at the same time, I knew that it would be okay. Like I knew it wasn't going to be an issue. I don't know why. Because I'm around everyone that I know. Yeah. Pretty much knew everybody at the wedding, right? And
I mean, we're pretty particular about the people that we hang out with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Sam and I as well. And so it's like our closest people, we're not into it. Or, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so, yeah.
So that was something that I was kind of worried about, but at the same time, I wasn't. And then, yeah, I had so much fun. And like we were dancing, and it was honestly like one of the best times I had. Our brother Devin, who was in that car accident that we kind of talked about, he was there, and I brought him onto the dance floor, and he was dancing a little bit. He has like his whole body, like I don't even know what it's called, but like it's like this thing.
It's a brace.
It's this brace that holds his neck kind of like still, and he was like dancing and stuff like that. So that was really cool, and just having our whole family together was really, really nice. So like I don't want people to be all sad. Like I had a great time, but it was like, I think that I had such a good time because I was able to have such a good cry beforehand. Yeah. It was like, all right, now I'm ready to party.
Hey, man, you're talking to an Enneagram 4. Yeah. That's what we do. We just like, it's like a oil change. Uh-huh. We cry, it like gets everything nice and lubricated and fresh, and then we're ready to go again. Mm-hmm. But then after the wedding, we had the honeymoon, and we went to Cancun, and the weather was beautiful. It was an all-inclusive resort, which didn't help coming back the first week being the Open. Still, Sam and I is like, this whole week has been just a rough week of workouts because we did the Open on Monday, went Tuesday, went Wednesday, Thursday took off, and then did the Open again on Friday. Yeah. And we keep on being like, man, all inclusive. Yeah. But I mean, it was good. It was super good. I had a really, I want to talk about something that happened that was actually really weird at the honeymoon. I'm going to preface it with the honeymoon was amazing. Sam and I chose the place, but it was a lot of Sam's organizing and planning, and she's very good at all that. So it was a great week.
Hi, Sam.
Yes. But the first week the first day, the first moments, we're traveling all day, just flew from California to Houston, from Houston to Cancun. We get out and it's just like wild. It is a wild airport. There are people yelling at you in different languages, trying to get you to use their service, use their rent a car, use their, like whatever, like everyone is just yelling at you, and it is so overwhelming. And then once you get out of that, there is just a sea of like people with signs. Since we booked through Costco, there's a person there who has a Costco sign, and we're supposed to find him. And there's like 50 to 60 people just like standing there, all with different companies, all with different signs. And so that's overwhelming. Eventually, we find the Costco sign, and the Costco guy says, okay, now you need to go over to this lot 42 or whatever. So we go to lot 42 where there's this van just waiting with a whole bunch of people who are getting dropped off at different hotels. So we finally get in the van. It takes like 10 minutes, and then we drive to the hotel. As soon as we get to the hotel, there's hotel people waiting for us. And so it's just like, okay, and they're, do you speak Spanish? No. Okay, and they're trying to speak to us in English. And then this guy says, okay, come sit with me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the hotel. So we go and we sit with him and talk about the hotel, and he's talking about, all right, so you guys booked through Costco. That's awesome. That's great. But now that you guys are here, we don't want you to ever book through Costco again. We want you to book through our hotel. Costco is a middleman, and we lose money. So you get the best deal if you book through us. And so he's talking. He's like, so at the end of the week, we're going to ask you to become a member with us. But before that, we want to offer you half off any activity. And so we're like, oh, great. Like, okay, cool. He's like, this is just to show you, like, we have a lot of fun things to do. Half off any activity. You can go on this excursion to look at the ancient, like, pyramids of the Mayans. You can go to the spa for a day. Or not for a day, but for, like, an hour. You can go and parasail. You can do all these things. And so we're just like, ooh, do we want to do this? I know we weren't really planning on spending that much money, but it's half off. That'd be kind of nice. After like 20 minutes of him talking to us about all of the amenities the hotel has, Sam and I are like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. Like, let's do an event. We'll do the spa or something, right? Because heck yeah. I don't want to do something. I always want to relax. And so he's like, great. Fills out this piece of paper. He's like, what's your name? Jean. What's your occupation? I work at a church. What else do you do? I don't do anything else. I work at a church. You don't do anything else? No, I mean, I do video, but I do that for the church. So you only work at a church? Yes. There's nothing else you do? No. All right, well, I just want to say thank you so much for spending this time talking to me. We are actually going to exclude all, like, we're not going to give you any discounts. We're not going to give you anything like that. It's just that doesn't match the brand of the hotel. We don't, it's no hard feelings, but we just can't offer you a membership. We're not going to offer you any discounts. Thank you so much.
Did he say it just like that?
Just like that. Just like that. He's like, we are a business. We are a marketing and branding, and this just isn't aligned with us. I'm so sorry. I should have asked you at the beginning of this conversation. Have a great day. This person will lead you up to the hotel. And it was like he wanted nothing to do with me once he found out that I worked at a church. And it's like, it's not discrimination. There are people who have experienced much worse in much harder situations, but it was just this weird, like, what? Because of my profession, which then put this weird, like, cloud on me, because now I start thinking, like, already it's like, it's this hotel, all inclusive. They definitely want you to drink. I didn't drink that much, but like they definitely want people drinking, and and so then it's like, okay, this hotel doesn't want to align with me personally because of what I do. Is what I'm doing bad? Like, is this like, am I doing something bad, which is why this is happening? Like, it was just this weird, like, why did he do that? Why would he not want to? He didn't even, like, Sam has a full-time job. Like, he didn't even ask her what she does. She's a project manager at a fire and building code company. Like, is that against their brand? Like, it was just like the weirdest feeling, being, like, rejected because of something I do.
Do you think that it was against the brand, or he was just like, he probably doesn't make that much money?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. But he didn't say anything about money. He just said that it was not with the brand. Like, literally, that's what he said. And so then it's like, I can't like contact the hotel and be like, I felt bad.
Yeah.
And I can't like to contact Costco because that's what we did it through and be like, hey, I had this really weird experience. What are they going to do? I don't want to be a complainer, but it was just like it honestly was just this weird feeling of just like, oh, and he like literally was like, okay, thank you. Thank you. And he like left like zero interest in us for the rest of the time. And it was the weirdest thing. And so every time we passed him, Sam was like, let's give him a glare. And then he'd like say a joke and I'd laugh. And she'd be like, why are you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just nice. I don't know. But like, it honestly was just this like, it was weird. And so that like put a weird cloud on day one. Night one, it was pretty late when we got there. And then I eventually like kind of got over it. But it was just this like, I started really feeling like, am I doing the wrong thing here? Like, am I in a bad place? You know, like, I don't know. Not something, I think that's something that you probably wouldn't get home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
and I wonder if it's a cultural thing because like Mexico, like the church is very different in Mexico than it is in America.
Yeah.
So I wonder, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, maybe that's kind of that. I don't know. Like I have no idea. So I don't want to sit here and like speculate because it'd be literally me talking out my butt. Like I have absolutely no idea.
But besides that, like, the food was great. The gym was all right. Like, I didn't really do it, but it was all right. And we ended up going parasailing anyway. We're like, screw you, we're going to do something. And so we went parasailing, and it was awesome. But that was a weird experience. But then we came home. It was like a 12-hour travel day starting at 1 a.m. our time, which was 3 a.m. there. And so that was a long day. And then we got home, and we had like a couple days off to just really... get rid of all the boxes that were inside the house.
Oh my gosh. That was ridiculous. So everyone in the house actually ended up leaving at the same time. I went to Austin, they went on their honeymoon, and then one of our other roommate, he went to work in Florida.
So there's 4 of us who live in this house right now.
So there's 4 of us that live there. And it sounds crazy, but it actually works pretty well. We all get along really well, which is nice. Yeah. But so we all ended up leaving like right after the wedding, right? And so I actually ended up, because we had rented tuxes, so I ended up getting extra charge because I wasn't able to bring it in right away. That was the whole thing. But it was actually pretty easy to return it. But I was like, man, an extra $25 just because I had to wait an extra day. But,
yeah.
So when I got back home, because I left the day before they left, so when I got back home, it was crazy.
Well, we still had we had all of our boxes, but then we also had all of our clothes from when the groomsmen got dressed and changed.
Yeah, it was
and those stuff lying around, and then presents and baggage, and it was like everything was just like out for like a couple days, and that was hard. Like that was really hard, and it was hard for all of us. But like we were doing stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the day after the wedding, we had all this family stuff planned.
And then like I was like, man, I want to do something and clean this, but I don't know where any of the stuff goes. I don't know whose it is, what it like. So I was like, I'm not going to touch it and then ruin stuff.
And a lot of it is like things that I had to build because we had like shelves and mirrors and all that stuff that I had to like, in order to get rid of the box, I had to build it. It just took a while.
I want people to understand how impatient you are. So I want you to tell the story of the boots. So come on, let's be. We're the same with this.
Yeah,
so
I'm patient. I am. How patient we are.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just want you to tell the story because it's funny to me.
Well, okay, so you have a connection with Thursday Boots. Not a connection, a relationship. You have a relationship with Thursday Boots, and
so this is like a company that makes very nice boots.
Yes,
and they're very cool. They're based out of New York. I've known the owner reached out to me, the founder, years ago, like 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and we've always just kind of stayed in contact. He's always like, if you ever want anything, just let me know, and I can get you something.
Yeah. So I like the boots a lot, but I don't have a relationship with them, and I don't have the income right now to splurge on that.
They're like $200 each.
And so I was just kind of like, you gave me an old a pair that didn't really fit you that well.
Yeah, they're a little too big for me.
Yeah. And so I was wearing them, and I really liked them. And you're kind of like, oh, you know what? I think this would be a nice gift. So you reach out to them, and you say, hey, I would really like to get my brother a pair of boots for his wedding. And they're like, absolutely, we'll send him a pair. And so you text me that.
So I texted you, I told you to tell me what do you want, what pair?
Yeah,
right?
So I sent you all that, sent you the size, sent you the picture, exactly, whatever. And then on Monday, you say, okay, the boots were ordered. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. No, it was Sunday or something. And so then I'm thinking like, ooh, hopefully they overnight it. And so and we left on a Tuesday. So Monday comes around, no package shows up. And I'm like, man, and so Tuesday we leave and you send me a text and it's like the tracking information. And so then I'm literally every single night in my hotel looking at the tracking.
In Cancun.
Like, how much closer is it going to be? How much closer is it? Like, is it coming? Did it get delivered sooner? Which doesn't matter because I'm gone. They end up getting delivered on a Friday. I come back on a Saturday. So again, even if it was earlier, it doesn't matter. But I walk in and the first thing I say to you is like, did the boots come? You're like, no, they made a problem. Like there was an issue, blah, blah. And immediately I'm just like, it's probably something he did. He probably, you know what I mean? Like he's super disorganized and didn't do something right. And so I'm like unloading the car and I'm just like,
he's in a huff.
I'm not like, I'm not mad because it's a gift. I'm just also like, man, I was looking at the tracking information in Cancun.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
I
funny
was excited.
When they got home, I was literally like I was sitting in the living room with my shirt off because I was like, I had gotten a shirt and I was like drying it because it was all wrinkly. So that was what they walked into. Yeah. Just me just sitting there.
Yeah. And then I like unload a couple things and I come back in and you're holding it in your hand. I was like, I was just kidding. And I was just like all this like emotion, like 1, excitement, 2, anger, 3, frustration, ridiculousness knowing that I was in Cancun on my honeymoon looking up tracking information on a pair of boots that I was really excited to get. And then I was traveling in gym shorts all day. And so John David walks in and I'm trying on the boots and I'm wearing boots and gym shorts because I just want to wear them.
It was just funny because I didn't realize how much... Like, I wasn't even positive. I was like, maybe he forgot they were even coming. And then Sam was like, he was checking his phone every day in Cancun looking at when these boots were going to get here.
Yeah, I was excited. I really liked them. I'm really stoked about the boots. I was like, okay, so I'll wear them on Monday. I wore them on Monday this week. It's Friday right now. I wore them on Monday, and I'm like, but they're kind of like special boots, so you don't want to wear them all the time. So the next time I'll wear them, I won't wear them to rehearsal on Wednesday, but I will wear them to church on Sunday. And like I've already like got this plan about how often I'm going to wear the boots. I was excited, so...
Yeah, so that was my present that I was able to get. So
yes, I am impatient, but I'm also grateful. Yeah. Like I do like show like I'm like a little tiny child when you get him a new toy.
Yeah, it's literally what you're like.
You know what I mean? Like
that is literally what you're like. And he definitely is grateful because he ends up being the recipient of most of the stuff that I don't like wear very much.
Yeah, I don't buy a lot of gym clothes. Yeah, and I don't buy a lot like for the amount of things that I'm blessed to have. It's not from me buying it.
It's from me giving it to you.
My pastor actually was like, this isn't a bad thing, Jean. I've noticed you have a lot of shoes. He's like, you always come and you're wearing like a different pair of shoes, which is not true, not always. But like for an average person, like I'm wearing black Vans right now. Yeah. These are the ones I've bought myself. They were $40. But like, I guess more than the average person has of like variety. Like I'll come in and I'll be wearing Reeboks and then I'll be wearing Vans and then I'll be wearing Adidas Ultra Boost and then I'll be wearing boots and then I'll be like, and he's like, it's not a bad thing, but you spend a lot of money on shoes. I'm like, actually, I don't. I was like, I get them as hand-me-downs. And he was like, oh. And so it's like, it's funny because I don't know. I don't want to give out this like impression that I'm like splurging. Yeah.
I don't really buy that many shoes. I mean, it's hard because it just depends on the person, right? Compared to like somebody that buys shoes all the time, that like loves shoes, I don't have that many shoes. But compared to someone that maybe wears one pair of shoes and that's it until they buy a new pair, then I have way too many shoes.
Yeah. So the frustration, like on my end, I guess, is like I don't have I'm not saying that you do, but like I don't have the money to buy a whole bunch of shoes. So it's a priority thing. Like I have a good pair of gym shoes. They work great for me. I don't have a need to be like, well, let me try what this brand does. Let me check what this brand does. Let me check what this brand does. Because it's just me working out. Like, and shoes don't really change your workout that much. So you currently have a pair of very vibrant colored shoes. Yeah. And it's like everything in me wants vibrant colored shoes. I like the way it looks, especially if you're wearing like a darker outfit with a brighter pair of shoes or something. Like, I like that look a lot, but for me, I have to buy neutral shoes because they're the only pair of shoes I'm going to have, and I'm going to be wearing them with a wide variety of clothing that I own.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to spend, like, if I'm going to spend $130 on gym shoes, I need to make sure that I can wear them all the time and not feel ridiculous.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, I have 3 pairs, one's neutral, one's bright, one's black, you know, like, and so it's like legitimate thoughts where I like look at those shoes and I'm like jealous, but also like, I wouldn't be like, if I know that I only get 1 pair of workout shoes a year, it's not going to be a bright color.
And I mean, I'm honestly the same way. Like, I don't really buy super vibrant shoes. So the shoes that he's talking about were actually sent to me by this new company called Virtue Athletics, and they're like brand. They don't even exist yet, right? Like, they're about to start a Kickstarter 4 days from when we're recording this podcast, right? So they don't even sell their shoes yet. And I actually reached out to them because a friend of mine had posted about them, and I love reviewing CrossFit shoes. Like, it's something that I do on my second channel. I really enjoy doing it. It's just fun. Like, it's just, I don't know why, I just enjoy doing it. So I was like, those look really cool, and I think it's really cool. It's like a tiny company that's just starting out, and I would love to, if I can help them in any way possible, cool, right? Yeah. So they sent me those, and so if I were to go on their website and look at shoes, I wouldn't have picked those. They're like bright yellow, right? So for me, I'm kind of the same way. Like, most of the shoes that I wear to work out in are pretty neutral as well. And like, again, for me, most of the time when I buy a pair of shoes, I have intentions of filming a video about them. You know, if it's a CrossFit shoe. Yeah. And then when it comes to like other stuff, I really don't buy that many like casual shoes. Like, I don't have that many. Like, I'm wearing red Vans right now, and that's pretty much. It's either these or my checkered slip-ons that I'll wear. Yeah. And that's about it. And then if I want to look fancy, I have boots now. Like, you know, so, but yeah, I mean, compared to another person that doesn't care much for shoes, then that's a lot of shoes, I guess.
But I think it goes back to the conversation that we've had multiple times where it's like, you like it or not, you're an influencer. But it's like, the influencers do have, there's a story behind the story. And so it's like, they've got the vibrant shoes, and people are like, oh wow, those are the ones I want, blah blah blah. Or it's such a stupid example. Yeah. But you don't realize that they probably got reached out to, and someone probably sent it to them, and they didn't have, you know what I mean? And so it's like, then people go and they like break the bank, or they have arguments with their wife, or they have that is not a personal example. But they feel like they need to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to fit in with a certain group of people, and they don't realize that the strain that you are causing on your relationship because you want to fit in to this group is not a strain that they have. And so then you're putting your family or you're putting your relationships through this like ringer that doesn't need to be there. It's just what is, you see the 10% on social media and you try to make your entire 100% fit within someone's 10%. And so like, it's just a constant danger that you always have to look out for. Just kind of realizing the story behind the story, the post, or the copy behind the post.
Yeah, thanks for making me feel terrible for ruining people's marriages and stuff.
Yeah, it's a burden that you need to. You've been going too long. Ignorance.
No, I do.
So here's the difference. You're open. You're very open. You say, these people sent me these things, and it's super awesome. And we're talking about it on a podcast, an hour long, where you're talking about how people send you stuff. We've had 2 conversations about shoe companies who have sent you shoes in this one podcast. So you're open about it. Yeah. Whereas other people are like, oh no, it's just branding. Just it's like, just shush.
I think that I like to think that I'm very aware of the influence that I have, even though I hate that word, influencer, but I'm aware of that, and I try my best to be a good purveyor of that, right? Yeah. Like, to be a good example and not to be flashy and always showing off stuff. One, because that's just not who I am. I've never been that. Like, usually when I post stuff, it's not to show off. It's more to just show something, right? Like, oh, these are cool. Like, the shoes that were sent, like, I was just excited. And, like, for me, it wasn't about showing off these shoes. It was like, let me show these shoes off because it's such a tiny company. Maybe I can help them. Yeah. That's what it's more like. And then, like, with Thursday Boots for sitting and stuff, it's like, those are my friends now. And if it helps in any way, cool. Yeah. You know? And if people want to get it, cool. But, like, I hope that people understand I'm not sitting there spending thousands of dollars every month on shoes.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it goes back to the very beginning of this podcast, which will be a nice bow.
Well, there we go.
We were talking about, the difference between like athletes posting their YouTube videos or whatever, and then you're not doing it to show people how awesome you are. You're doing it because you come from a place where you legitimately want to help people. Whereas other people come from a place of like, I want my name to be out there, and I want, I think about me, video me, film me, edit me, post me, promote me. Like, that's not the place you're coming from. You're coming from like, no, I'm just trying to either get rid of all the BS that's out there revolving weight loss and whatever, or, if someone's interested in buying a pair of shoes, now they have a reference to go on. Like, there's a difference between I post things to promote myself and I post things to help others. And I think that not to build you up or anything, because I hate doing that.
Yeah, I think people that listen to the podcast can tell.
Yeah, but like, you do a really good job. And this is why it struggles with me, because my videos are not help videos. They are, hey, look how great I did in this workout, or hey, look how rough this workout was. And that was an internal struggle for me, because that's so vain and I don't care about that much. So like, that was a struggle where it was like, I'm not really like, I understand that by seeing someone do regular workouts, it's like, oh good, that's like normal, and that can help people, but it wasn't coming from a place of help in my heart. It was like, I want my name to be out there. I want my brand to be out there. And that only can go so far. Whereas when you are able to realize, like, I'm helping people, that is a much deeper and stronger well of inspiration than, hey, let me get my name out there. And so I want to commend you on that.
Well, thank you very much.
And with that, I think we are going to end this podcast. But thank you guys so much for listening. This was fun. This was a fun one. This one was actually good.
We're trying to convince you now.
Yeah,
this was good. Just trust me. You guys. It was a good podcast. Just when your friends ask,
believe us. And say this one was good, and that just happened to go and give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
Leave a review because this was a good one.
Yeah.
And for everyone who, by the time this is out there, I hope you guys enjoyed 20.2 if you're doing the CrossFit Open.
Yep.
If you guys aren't doing the CrossFit Open, I apologize for this episode.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later.
Peace.